Hi and welcome. This is Mohammed Kubayb. Welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, we are going to discuss about new Microsoft Teams for virtual desktop infrastructure. If you want to learn more about Citrix, Azure, or AWS technologies, you can check out my bestseller Udemy courses. This is also available in Udemy for Business. So far, we have been using Microsoft Teams Classic version, so which is having end of life in October. So Microsoft suggests all the customer to migrate from Classic to new Microsoft Teams. So in this video, we will deep dive what are the prerequisites and how we can deploy new teams in VDI infra such as AVD or Citrix. So when we deploy teams in VDI, we normally optimize the teams. So what does this actually means? So, in order to understand the team's optimization, so consider you have a system. So, in this system, uh, you have installed either Citrix Workspace or remote desktop client in order to access your VDI. So, let's imagine you're logging into this computer and then you're going to launch your VDI. So, inside this VDI, so you're going to launch teams. Okay, so when you launch teams and when you try to call somebody, normally if you are not optimizing the teams, so technically speaking, all the AV traffic which will flow from your virtual desktop to the teams cloud, and from there it will reach the other person or whatever it is. Okay, so this is in a non-optimized fashion. So this may induce latency or heavy load on the virtual desktop. Why? Because all the codecs, encryption, decryption related to Teams call happening on the VDA. So it will use VDA RAM and CPU. So it will degrade your VDA performance and call quality will be degraded. So in order to avoid this, the Microsoft or Citrix, they have brought the concept of optimization. So optimization, what it will do, so instead of doing all the codecs encryption or decryption, whatever it is, from the VDA, it will offload that traffic to your local computer. So whenever you initiate any call, so technically the AV traffic, so all the codecs, decodes, or the encryption, whatever I mentioned, so it will happen in the local system. So it will use the local resource, CPU or memory, whatever it is, and then it will initiate a call, and it will go to the Teams cloud and it will reach the other person. So in this case, all the heavy work, normally the codecs, decodes, which I mentioned, it will happen on the client side, and all the AV traffic which will flow from the client instead of within the VDI. So this will greatly offload all the resources which is required for the Teams call from VDI to the laptop, so that your VDI resource will not be utilized for the Teams call. So for this reason, optimization is very important. So without optimization, it's not a good practice to deliver Teams on VDI. So in order to perform the optimization, so basically from your client you need to allow certain IPs related to Teams cloud. So if you see this table, so you need to allow these IPs, which is 13.107.64.0 and 52.112 and 52.120. So you should allow this over the UDP port, which is mentioned here, and as well as the TCP port 443 from your client machine. So if you are not allowing this from your client machine, then Teams optimization will not work. So again, the call will go inside the VDI. So always make sure when you are planning teams, so make sure you have to allow this from your client machine. For example, if your client machine, which is a laptop, is already connected to internet, then you no need to worry, because by default everything is allowed. If it is in a air gapped ODC or in a corporate network, then there are chances these are not allowed by default. So you have to make sure that this is allowed from the client network. So this is related to teams optimization. So understanding team optimization is very important when you are planning to deliver teams within VDI. So let's see the new teams requirements in a general, irrespective of any virtual desktop. So first thing is you need to have Windows 10, 1904 or higher, or Windows Server 2019 or 2022, and Windows Server 2016 is not supported. and make sure that you should have a web view on your VDI. And then you should exclude the certain processes and files related to new teams from your DLP and AV. So this is very important. And keeping the classic Teams app, it is optional. However, if you are migrating from classic to new teams, it is always recommended to keep the classic team. So once your users are get used to new teams, then you can plan to uninstall it. However, if you are deploying a new solution, then you can directly go with the teams new version. So when it comes to Azure Virtual Desktop or Citrix CVAD, so you should have some of the prerequisites, such as you should have remote desktop client for AVD, and then you should have a web RTC service, this version. And in the registry, you have to make sure that you will create a registry under HKLM software, Microsoft Teams, saying that is WVD environment with the value 1. So this is for the optimization, as I told you in the earlier section. So similarly, when it comes to Citrix CVAD, so you should have Citrix Workspace app 2203 or 2302. If it is Linux or Mac, so make sure you will have these particular versions. Similarly, coming into the VDA, so you should have 2203 LTSR or 2212 current release or 1912 CU6. And again, for the optimization, you should create a registry key under HKLM software, WoW6432, Citrix, WebSocket, the similar thing which is process whitelist, and then value, you should include MSHWebview 2.exe. So this is required for the optimization. So if you miss this registry, if you are using Azure Virtual Desktop or Citrix VDI, then optimization will not work. So all the teams AV traffic which will flow from the VDI, so it will use the VDI resources and it will degrade the performance. So when it comes to new teams, when you install new teams, by default, the new teams will get installed under C program files, Windows apps, and MS Teams. So it will create a folder for each version. So this is the path for the installation. So for each version it will create a separate folder. And when it comes to cache, for example, let's say the user is using Teams, and all the cache related to the user, which will be stored under C user, app data, local packages, and MS Teams. So if you wanted to troubleshoot, or if you wanted to delete cache, so you can directly go to this path and you can delete this folder. And when it comes to exclusions, for example, let's say if you wanted to exclude the caches, etc., in order to save space on the storage, then you can apply this exclusion. However, it is highly recommended you need to test it before rolling out in production. And one important note about new teams, the basic requirements, you should have FSlogix 2210 hotfix 4. So you must have this on your VDA. And then when it comes to upgrade, so new teams will automatically upgrade in VDA. So sometimes it will create issue also. So in my recommendation, it is always disable the auto update feature of teams. So you have to create a registry. You can create through group policies or any methods in tune or whatever it is, and then you can disable new teams upgrade. So then you can manually push upgrade whenever you wanted to push the new teams client. And one important note about Microsoft new teams, which is related to meeting add-in. So meeting add-in is nothing but it will integrate with Outlook. So within Outlook, you can join the Teams meeting, or you can create a Teams meeting, etc. However, with the new Teams, by default, it will go to the user app data, local, Microsoft, and Teams add-in path. So this will create issue if you are using multi-session. Why? Because this is going inside the user name. So this is an issue I have noticed recently. So what you can do, you can use some custom PowerShell script, and you can install the Microsoft meeting add-in under C program files, Microsoft and Teams add-in. So this is in general under C drive program files, and this is visible to n number of users. However, if you use the default method, then it will go under the specific user. So let's see the installation procedure for the new teams. So basically, you need to download a bootstrapper, which is a exe from Microsoft site. This is the first step. So this will help you to install teams for all users. and it will always make sure that it will install the latest version. And then we need to download a msix package of Teams. So this is also available in Microsoft site. And once you have these two setups, then you need to open a command prompt, and then you need to run this particular command, which is team bootstrapper .exe, and the path which you should give where we have kept your msx package. So it looks like this. So once it is successfully installed, then it will give you this message which is success. So if it is returning with the success value true, then you can consider the Teams installation is successful on the virtual machine or on the master image. So let's log into virtual machine or a master image, and we will see how we can install new Teams. So I have logged into my master image or virtual machine, you can say. So there is a Microsoft article which will give you end-to-end configuration details related to Teams installation. So before you install Microsoft Teams in your virtual desktop or master image, the first thing we have to create is a registry entry. So this is for the optimization. So let's go to the registry. Let's go to HKLM software Microsoft. So under Microsoft, you need to create a key, which is a new key. So here you need to mention it is Teams, and under Teams you need to create the D word. So let's create the D word. So you need to type is WVD environment, then you need to enter the value as 1, which is decimal value. So this will make sure your Teams will be optimized. So once this is completed, then you can start the installation of Microsoft Teams. So in order to disable Teams auto update, so you need to create another dword. So again in the same Microsoft Teams path, so you need to create a dword called disable auto update. So let's go to the registry path, and then we will create new dword. So with the value 1 under disable auto update. So now this will prevent from Teams to performing the auto upgrade. So this is very important for the production infrastructure. You need to scroll down, and then you will reach a section where they have given some of the links for the download files. For example, let's say we need bootloader, which is download.exe. We have to get this one, and then we need to have a msix for the Microsoft Teams. So in this case we have downloaded both. Now we need to open the command prompt, and we need to execute the command. So I will keep this both the files under C drive for the easy installation. So I'll create a temporary folder called temp, and under that I'm going to paste both the application. So let's open command prompt under administrator, and then we can scroll down to the path which we have created. And now let's go back to the Microsoft article, and let's try to copy this command. So I'll put it in the notepad first. So we have to replace this with our temporary folder which we have created over here. So I'll go back, and I will mention that this is our msix for the Teams. So I'll replace that here with that particular path. So now we are ready with our command. So let's try to execute this. I'll click enter. So now it will install the latest Teams under C window C program files Windows apps. So which is available for all the users by default. So as you can see, now it is successfully installed. So now Teams is available. If you wanted to verify, you can go to C program files, and then we need to go to the Windows apps. By default this is hidden, so you need to unhide this particular folder, and then you can go to MS Teams here. So as you can see, MS Teams 241651414. So this is the version. uh, it got installed successfully. So let's open this. So here you can see the icon as well, which is MS Teams. So let's open this. So as you can see, this is the new Teams which got installed. Let's go to appis.cpl. So let's refresh here. So as you can see, new Teams will not be visible under appis.cpl. So this is one thing you need to keep it in mind. So always you need to go to C, program files, Windows apps, and MS Teams. So let me launch Teams. So I'm going to the taskbar and I'm searching for Teams. So as you can see, the Microsoft Teams app visible under search. So sometimes when the user logs in for the first time, it won't show here. Then you need to go manually to the path, which is program files, Windows apps, and MSTMs, and then you have to launch it. So next time onwards, it will be automatically comes under search. So let's launch this, and we will try to log in with our test user. So I have a test user, so I'm going to log in with that user over here, and then I will enter the password. So let's see, the Microsoft Teams is working as I expected. So the Teams got logged in successfully. So if you can, if you wanted to verify the versions, etc., so you can go to settings, and then you can go to about Teams, and then you can see the version. So which is 24180.205.2980.1757. So now we have successfully installed the Teams, and we can see the Teams version as well. So now let's open Outlook, and we'll see the Teams add-on, which is automatically displaying under Outlook or not. So I'm going to launch Outlook. So if you go to new email, so you can see Teams meeting add-in. So this is successfully visible here. However, the challenge with this type of installation is, let's say if you go to options, so under meeting add-ins, and if you see Microsoft Teams meeting add-in, so this is comes under see users my username app data. So let's say if it is a multi-session infrastructure, then it will create an issue. Why? Because this will gets installed on specific user, and if some other users are logging in, so sometimes it will not take from this path, so due to permissions, etc. So it is always make sure you need to install Microsoft Teams meeting add-on under C program file, so that it will be visible for everybody, and you'll not end up in some issues. So let's see how we can install that. So before that, we will go to appis.cpl. So as you can see here, we have Microsoft Teams meeting add-on, right? So this is installed on the user basis. So let's uninstall this first. So this got uninstalled successfully now. So now, so we have some commands to install it under program files. So first we need to get the Teams version. So this is the command to get the Teams version. So let's open PowerShell, and let's enter the command. So see, this is the version. So this is the Teams current version we have. So we need this details. So we need to go to the uh, app locker information path, so which is C program files, Windows apps, Teams, and then we need to get the binary version for the Teams. Okay, so this is nothing but you need to go to the C program files, and you need to go here, and then you need to go to uh, Teams version, and here you'll have meetings add-in, a Microsoft Teams meeting add-in, so which is this one. So copy this, So once you copy this, go to the notepad and replace this with the one which we have copied from the path. So now we have the command here. So let's try to execute this and we will see the binary version. So we need this binary details, by the way. So I'll copy this. I'll enter this value. See, this is the Teams binary version. So let's copy this as well. So this is the final command which will install Teams meeting add-in under program files. So here you can see this is the again the Teams path. So we need to copy the same Teams path which got installed in our system. So let's say this is the path. So I will replace that with this one here. So and then we'll keep all the commands as it is, which is all user is equal to 1 and no restart. So target redirectory means like where you wanted to install the Teams add-in. So we are basically pushing that under C program files Microsoft Teams meeting add-in. So here we need to mention the binary which we have received from the earlier output. So now I will replace here. Okay, so now our command is ready. So basically what I wanted to show is if you go to C program files, so as you can see you don't have any folder called Teams add-in under Microsoft. So basically we are going to create a folder using this command. Under that we are going to keep all the Teams add-in related DLLs, etc. So by default when you don't follow this procedure, so it will be installed under users Adam, and then if you go to app data and then local, if you go to Microsoft, so here you will see this. So this is user specific, so it will be installed under user directory. So we don't want that, we wanted to install that in the program files. Then for that you have to follow this procedure. So now our command is ready. So let's execute this command. So let's open the command prompt with admin privilege and we'll enter this command and we will enter it. So now this will install Teams meeting add-in under C program files. So if you go to appis.cpl now, so as you can see Teams meeting add-in got installed. So if you go to C program files and under Microsoft, so you'll see Teams meeting add-in. So this is the add-in. Now it got installed under C program files. So let's open Outlook now and we will see what is the behavior of Outlook over there. So let's open Microsoft Outlook and we will see what is the behavior of Teams add-in under Microsoft Outlook. So I'm going to the file and then I'll go to the options and I'll go to add-ins. So as you can see now, so we have Microsoft Teams meeting add-in. So now it is fetching from C program files Microsoft Teams add-in. So this is the perfect option for the multi-session VDI. So where we don't want to keep any common files under some specific user directory. So now this will be under Microsoft program files. So this will not have any issues with the Microsoft Teams meeting add-in. So this is how you can install Microsoft Teams in Azure Virtual Desktop or Citrix VDI, and you can also install the Microsoft Meeting add-in in this way in the multi-session virtual desktop. I hope this video is useful. Thank you for watching. So please like and subscribe to this channel so that you'll get notified whenever there is a new content available on the YouTube page.